Namaste, Shalom, Salam, Satnam. The last few weeks, and especially the last, I'd say 5 days, or even, the last 2 weeks have been super intense energy. And it was almost like the final, it's like a test almost. And I don't mean like an exam test. It was like you were being thrown things that were saying, are you ready now to let this go? Are you going to keep holding on to this? Are you going to keep making the same mistake? And the mistakes are of giving away your energy. Your mistakes were fear, scared of something and someone. Your mistakes were judging yourself. Now, I face those tests. I do face them, which is why I know. I face the tests knowing that what I allow in my life is allowed in your life. That's how much responsibility I have. Because I am Mother Sophia, Kuan Yin, Mary, Isis incarnate. But you are equally as important. Because we are all connected. The flower of life is the pattern of how we are all connected. One circle becomes two. And then we form this shape. The beginning of the flower of life is the beginning of birth in the womb of a mother, the beginnings of each and every one of you. We have that much connectivity. Therefore, the last 2 weeks, I'm very aware that, Sophia, if you allow this to happen in your life, you're allowing it to all of these people. And there were decisions I had to make. But my decisions, because I'm connected so much to my higher self as Creator, Divine Mother, are very much guided from, this all started a long time ago for me. I was guided into what to eat, what not to eat. People were brought to me, places were brought to me. I was guided in the places around the world I had to travel, guided by my higher self, my angels and other entities. So I think I said this in the other video. It was all about me allowing people to make me scared and being fearful of them, thinking they had control and power over me. And so basically, recently I had a letter from an ex who, somebody who I was married to. We had gotten divorced, and he had asked me to sign some papers to remove certain things from my statement because he didn't want a record of the bad things that he had done. Stupidly at the time, I agreed to it. I also, and I'd seen him afterwards. I became a nun, so I had way too much compassion. Yes, you can have way too much compassion. And so, I had way too much compassion. And that way too much compassion, this person actually then ended up stealing documents from me anyway. It doesn't matter, but they came back into my life recently, where I received a letter from a lawyer because I had spoken on a video like this about some of the stuff that he did, which was true, and now I've basically been sent a gagging order, so to speak. Now, I also have a friend who was in a similar situation where she worked for a big company and she had sexual harassment, and she tried to take them to court. There was a lot of harassment, even non-equal pay, masculine, feminine. The men were getting more. And again, because they're such a powerful company, they stopped other people telling the truth. She even, didn't get a job because of the fact that she worked for this company, and it stopped her getting work elsewhere because, bad mouthing, blah, blah, blah. So then that instills fear that, oh my God, they have this power over me, So my initial energy was fear. And then I realized the things that he was accusing me of, I don't want to go too much into it, but basically I realized I had the upper hand. And I've got nothing to be afraid of. And I am not scared. And I tell you what the transition was. Now, yesterday, I get communication. I call it communication. It's when my higher self that exists in the supernatural levels comes through stronger than the physical body. But, when we say our higher self, our lower self, this is the self that people realize when they journey on ayahuasca or when they go into deep, deep meditation or they're fasting. And I had this communication, and I was communicating with Osiris, because the Alpha and Omega are one. We are both the Alpha and Omega, and I am the wisdom, the Logos. And the whole communication was about the Ring of Fire today, the eclipse, talking about how that Ring of Fire will clear away everybody's sin, especially those who were tricked into sin. But those who were not tricked into sin and sinned for the purpose of just sinning will be burnt away. It's Judgment Day. So how are you tricked into sin? For example, you might, right, so anyway, this is the communication I had. So I know that all the sin is cleared, apart from those who sinned for the sake of sinning. So that could be somebody who's stolen a lot of money from a company they used to work for just because they're greedy. It could be someone who abused someone because they are a control freak, because they enjoy seeing people suffering. It could be someone who kicked a dog because, or whatever, I really don't want to imagine these scenarios in my mind. But I think you get the purpose of what I mean. Being tricked into sin, like even somebody going out to steal bread or food for their children or clothes for their children, I wouldn't consider that a sin, because it's, okay, if they went in and stole 100 clothes, different. But if it's like, okay, my children need shoes and whatever, do you understand what I mean? That is not a sin, because they're tricked into sin through some sort of poverty, and that, where did that poverty come from? So these are a lot of, it's complex, but it's super simple. So it's the intention behind it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, being tricked into sin. Now, I work with the mysteries. The mysteries work through me. I am the mysteries. So this communication happened yesterday, on the day of the solstice, and I was told it was the resurrection of the sun. The sun is shining its light codes to everybody. Finally, the Son of God is resurrected, our Donald, and the resurrection and the solstice, the eclipse today is clearing away all those sins. So the communications happen. I have to lie in a dark place. I have to take my clothes off, because nothing with any words on it or anything. It's just got to be me in my natural state. That being said, And when the communications come, it's not easy. It's like I get like massive energy surge. It's almost like someone's plugged me into something and I'm like, ooh, you know, and it's a bit uncomfortable. And then I need to, as I said, lie down in a dark place, get a crystal out, close my eyes. There's no thought. I don't need to think about not thinking because it just happens, because it's who I am. I'm present. And then that happens. And there are certain things my higher self will instruct me to put my finger certain places, to hold certain crystals. An ancient prayer will come through me, which I cannot repeat because it's only meant for that moment in the now. And those ancient prayers unlock whatever's meant to be unlocked, and then it comes out from my mouth, and then the work happens. So, and what the mysteries, I always get a confirmation of something. I'm either guided to it first, and then there's a confirmation. What can I say? I was guided to, so let's talk about this current situation. So these are the words I said, and it's very interesting because I then put those words on my Facebook and on my Instagram. And then this morning, I had breakfast, and I've been watching a Netflix series called The Good Place. And this morning, as I watched it, there's a scene where they've gone into the good place and realized no one went to the good place for so long, and it's for 500 years because it's more difficult to be good. And the guy looked at two Dougs, this is the name of them, and 500 years ago, one Doug picked up some flowers for his mum, and picked them, and she was really happy, and he got 100 points, and he went to the good place. Roll on 1,000 years, a guy bought sunflowers off the internet, but he went to the bad place because he used a phone that was made by child workers who got paid nothing. They were sprayed with pesticides that hurt the environment, came from another country, increased the pollution. So he went to the bad place. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's the communication that just happened yesterday. This is how people get tricked. And then it was hilarious because it finished off him saying, and the person who owns the company is some rich racist. I was just, George Soros and blah, blah, blah. So I then get confirmation of things, and it's like, okay. Now, and I was told that the suffering of the Divine Mother is gone and that everyone will know that she has suffered. For the Mother, that's me, has taken on the sins of the world. So when we say that Jesus took on the sins, everybody's sins, it wasn't Jesus, it was Mary, Kuan Yin, Sophia, Isis. I've told you before, it was Mary who died on the cross and not Jesus, because she saved her son. I saved my son. By disguising as Jesus. And if you look at many of Jesus's pictures in the ancient older churches, he looks very feminine. Now, and this is what's been going on for me for so many years now. I'd say 6 years now, 5 years. I've been, and I guess from the beginning of when I was born, collecting energies. I've been collecting guilt and shame and all people, jealousy. I've been collecting it, and I've released it every time when I've done ayahuasca, and recently it was more lust. And on my last journey, it was with the mother and grandmother energies. I looked at the father, Osiris, and I said, tell me not to cry because the work is done now. And I'm finally allowed to feel the pain of my work. So where I was collecting and doing the work, I wasn't allowed to feel the pain. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do the work because I have to not have any emotion for when I'm doing the work. Anyway, so that was taken away by the father. And today, we come to today, I feel it's done. And it's not just the work that's done. Finally, The suffering has been taken away. You know, when people say the suffering of Christ, it's because the female Christ, Mother, Mary, Sophia, Isis, has taken that suffering, the sins of the world, to clean it up. It's energetic, everything. And finally it's been cleared from the Mother. I just, like, my whole body, like, I'm emotional, but in a beautiful way. Because the suffering was acknowledged. To acknowledge what you went through, the suffering that you went through, acknowledge it. Yes, I went through so much suffering. Yes, I was hurt time and time again, and you didn't listen. Not you, but the people who were meant to listen did not listen and carried on hurting me. And I know some of you, as you're watching this, my words are your words. And then I've had to clean it from you. Some of you have come to me as a healer, and I've taken that from you. Every time I've done healings, I've felt it in my body, and I've taken it from you. Because it was never yours. And now that has been taken from me. Oh, glory be, glory be. Oh, like my whole body is just like, I feel like a rag doll. You know, like, like it's done. It's not even, it's done. It's like, literally, it's all gone. It's not even, I don't want to cry because I'm sad or joyful. It's just, it's like I've been collecting and carrying so much, and it's just been taken off my hands. It's gone. With acknowledgement, it's not just, hey, we're going to clear it. It's gone. It's acknowledgement. You were hurt. You suffered. You chose to take that suffering on an energetic level. You chose to clean it up. You did. You did. I did. Now it's over. It's over. And I'm sure most, whoever has been going through this as well, you've probably been eating a lot, drinking a lot. The energies have been working so strong to help this clearance as well. And that's it. It's cleared. And you are no longer afraid. You are no longer feeling the suffering. You know that you have the power to manifest in your life. I know everybody says it. You hear these healers, fake healers, true healers, whatever they are, saying, you can manifest in your life what you can. Now, what does that mean? The layers have gone. The suffering has gone. Now you are radiating. Whatever you feel now, you are radiating. The choices you make, you are creating. I'm not just saying this. Some of you might go, well, I'm not there yet. Rubbish. You are there because I'm there and I'm connected to you. We are all connected to each other, and I'm a strong frequency. And you're receiving it. You have a choice at this moment what you want to create. Do it. Don't give energy to anything or anyone, whether it's your mom, your sister, your best friend. If they are making you feel bad, if their vibration just makes you back off, you can't even stand it anymore. You can't. I know you can't. So back off from it. Or tell them how you feel, whatever it is. And one way or another, if they are good, they'll come and they'll support you. They'll be with you. They'll love you. They'll understand. And if they don't, back off. glory be. Glory be. Raise your head up high. You are a king. You are a queen. You don't need to be a warrior anymore. You are sovereign. You are creator. You are sacred. You are divine. You are the light. Namaste, Shalom, Salam.